The only time Evan's parents paid any sort of attention to him was when it was time to go to the hospital. His nightmares were always filled with white-coated doctors and the harsh scent of antiseptic. And the needles, always the needles.
Why can't we go visit Daniel? Want to make him feel better.
Daniel's really sick, Evan. He needs his rest.
It wasn't until a few years later that Evan realized Maddie did visit Daniel in the hospital. Their parents just didn't want Evan near their precious Daniel, the son they actually wanted. The world's population of sentinels and guides had steadily been decreasing over the past few centuries. Scientists attributed the steady decline to natural selection. The public's opinion on sentinels and guides is generally positive. Because of their natural abilities, they usually fall into more demanding roles and career paths, such as military personnel and first responders.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's wrong with him? Will there be complications with Daniel's bone marrow transplant? Well, what happened?
Are either of you familiar with a family history detailing the blessed gene? Well, it seems as though Evan has come online.
What? That's impossible. There shouldn't even be enough of the blessed gene in his DNA to allow this to happen. Regardless, sentinels and guides don't come online until at least puberty, if ever. So, you're wrong.
Mr. Buckley, the evidence is indisputable. The tattoo has formed over his heart. Per protocol, we will take Evan to the hospital's testing floors to determine if he is a sentinel or a guide.
How? How is this even possible? He's 4 years old.
I don't know. To be honest, this is unprecedented. Would either of you like a moment with your son before we take him downstairs?
No, no!
It hurts.
I understand you're upset, Evan, but I need you to concentrate. This is very important. Now, there is a person right on the other side of that door. Can you tell me what they are saying?
No, I can't hear anything.
Are you sure? Can you smell anything coming from this person? What about tasting something new on your tongue?
No, they aren't in the room. How am I supposed to hear or smell or taste anything? I want to go home.
I'm sorry for upsetting you, Evan. I am trying to discern what exactly made you sick, and then I'll give you the right medicine to make you better. Could you try to focus on the person in the next room one more time? Why don't you close your eyes for me? Maybe that will help.
He is happy.
That's correct. There's nothing wrong with you, Evan. These tests confirm that you have the blessed gene. You've come online as a guide.
The next day,
Mr. and Mrs. Buckley, I'd like to introduce you to Charlotte Keene. She is from the Global Sentinel Guide Association. I'll leave you in her capable hands. The lab has finished rendering the results of Evan's bone marrow sample. I'm pleased to inform you that it will still be viable for Daniel's transplant. I'm going to go check on him now.
It's nice to meet you both. I shared Evan's results with 2 of the GSGA's specialists.
Well?
They believe his early manifestation was a result of his participation in these bone marrow transplants.
What is that supposed to mean?
Evan undergoing the donation process resulted in enough trauma and fear that it sparked an abnormal increase in the neurochemicals to which the blessed gene responds.
Are you saying this is our fault? We're trying to save our son here.
I'm not accusing anyone of anything, Mr. Buckley, just stating the facts.
Daniel has been ill for a long time, Mrs. Keene. Evan was his only hope. We didn't have a choice. We had to save our son. Please, you must understand.
Be that as it may, the GSGA is assigning a mentor to Evan due to the trauma he has faced. If this guide comes back to the GSGA with anything short of an exemplary, then we will send an agent to investigate. Do I make myself clear?
Is that a threat?
Who will the GSGA be sending to mentor Evan?
His name is Robert Nash.